So here's how it works. In the beginning and as a beginner, once you figure out what type rope you need, which is also super important, I can go grab, there's a million different types of ropes, but having a rope that's good for beginners is, and I recommend RX Smart ropes. Those are probably the best ropes for beginners, and you can also change the, this isn't an RX Smart rope, this is a Buddy Lee, one of my favorites. But you can actually change, you keep the same handles and you can change the weight of the line, and as you get better and faster at ropes. So start with your own custom rope if you plan on doing this for a long time and getting serious about it. When you're doing double unders, so let me demo first. All right, a couple from the side. Okay. So the first step, let's break this down step by step. So the first thing is you need to be able to have the conditioning. You need to be conditioned to be able to do this. So jumping. So the starting point for all this is jumping. Jumping with your feet together just to be able to do this. Most people have struggled with that. So the last thing you need is for someone is to put a jump rope in your hands and say, go do this, right? You need to start step by step, little by little until you're conditioned. So what I recommend is before even touching a jump rope, be able to do just hops, 100 hops without stopping. So, because it's the body structure is the same from just basic hops to double unders or triple unders. Your body stays in almost a straight line. You pretend like your body's just a pogo stick. So you're just bending the knees, exploding off the ground, bending the knees, exploding off the ground vertically. So, and you're not even really bending the knees I'm actually not even bending my knees at all. My knees are acting like shock absorbers for my feet. My ankles are almost doing all the work in a jump, for a jump rope. So that's what I want to see. First thing you need to be able to do is you'll bring your feet close together, stomach's tight, and chest is up, and then just little hops. You could just start with little basic hops. 100 times, keep breathing, get your breath down, breathe, breathe, breathe. Because if you hold your breath, you're gonna fatigue that way as well. Happens all the time. A couple from the side. 100. Okay, so I can do that consistently now, no problem. Next thing is what I see a lot of people is when you put a jump rope in your hands, there needs to be a type of rhythm. Okay, and a lot of people don't get that rhythm down. So if they're jumping rope and they're doing something like this here, constantly, right? And they can't just get the arms going. What I'll have them do, or if they're a deconditioned athlete, but the hops, the straight up and down hops are still too easy, I'll have them jump to a target. So the center of this and back. And then as they get better, or as you get better, so this instruction here is kind of like for coaches and also beginning athletes or just any athletes. Raise the height of the plate. You want to make sure though the plates are secure and you don't want them to slip off. So center and back. It's a little more challenging. It's even challenging for me. So this isn't like, you know, you're worthless because you can't use a rope. this is actually just as challenging as using a rope. Okay, so move that out the side. With that being said, let's move to the next piece. So now you're good at hopping. You can get the movement down, so you don't need to use the plates. What you want to do is keep your feet together, and the next thing you can add in is you could tap your hips. So it'll be, you tap your hips before your feet hit the ground. So you jump, tap, tap, tap. Kind of helps with that timing that you're gonna need for once you get to the rope. Okay, so this is all just for singles, just to be able to do a basic single. There's also a company that sells this neat little thing. It's like a tennis ball at the end of a jump rope handle, and you can actually use those. Those are a really good tool to kind of help you figure out the rhythm and the timing of the jump rope. Start with the rope behind you. You bring it forward, jump. It's gonna make that tapping sound in front of you. When you hear that tapping sound, you jump, okay? So, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's like the rope hits the ground in front of you and then you jump. So hands are important. Hand positioning and shoulders are important. You wanna make sure your shoulders are relaxed, okay? You're not tense, you're not out wide. Hands are out front, nice and relaxed, and all the work is in the wrist. The elbows and the wrist. Your shoulders don't do anything at all, okay? Unless it's a big, thick, heavy rope, then your shoulders are doing a lot. But if it's a thinner, smaller rope, right? So we'll go from the side. Hands are out front. This is all my wrist. My body position stays the same. The rope is almost doing all the work for me, right? The rope is doing the work. I'm just holding onto the handles, kind of giving it a little flick each time. Flick, flick, flick. Okay, hopefully that helps. So once you get that timing down, and you could do 100 of these now fluidly with the rope, what you'll start to do, and what you ideally should be doing, is practice on hopping a little bit higher. So where was I? So now what happens is you start to jump higher, right? So you jump higher as a beginner to teach you how to give you time enough to get the rope through twice, okay? But as you get better and faster, you don't have to jump as high because you become more accurate. So see, I'm not jumping that high off the ground, but it helps a lot. All right, so that's the thing. The next thing you're gonna do is once you're able to do 100 good ropes with your rope fluidly without, any problems, then you're gonna start at this height. So high, like this. You have to be jumping high. Not just the little hops I talked about in the beginning. Now you're jumping higher, okay? Once you can do 100 of those, then we'll move on to the next step, which is the double under. So as I'm jumping higher, I'm gonna keep doing regular singles, and when I'm comfortable, I'm gonna bring that rope through twice, okay? It's gonna look like this. So I did about 10 singles, 1 double under, and then I went right back into singles. So that's kind of what you need to be doing. Once you start getting that down, and then you just stop. Or you can keep going. Do 10 singles, 1 double under, 10 singles, 1 double under, 10 singles, 1 double under. And then what happens is over time, in a short amount of time, if you're doing it right, you're gonna be able to do 2 double unders, 10 singles, 2 double unders, 10 singles, 3 double unders, 10 singles, 4 double unders, so on and so forth. That, in my opinion, is one of the best, fastest ways to get good at double unders. And it's just practice, practice, practice. That's what everyone says, but you gotta do it. If you put in the time, you fail, you whip yourself, stuff like that, it just starts to work for you. Super frustrating in the beginning, but eventually it works for you. I got tons more tips and tricks for double unders. If you guys are interested, like, follow, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Comment. You can DM me for messages. Look me up on Instagram, Metabolic AF. And see you in the next one.